Finds space, he does, and takes it on top of the rim. Fuel a 10-3 run over the last 2.5. How about that? Broken ankle, wow.
Got Crawford. Pass to himself. Oh!
Beautifully done by Jamal Crawford. The back. Crawford.
The sixth man of the year, an award that's been growing in popularity for years now, but there are two players who truly stand out when you think about this award, and that's Jordan Clarkson and Jamal Crawford. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a deeper look at both of these two players' careers as a whole, and by the end of it, we should have a far better understanding of which player we think is overall better than the other. Our first category is total stats, so let's start off with Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson is coming off a season in which he just averaged 16 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game for the Utah Jazz over 79 total games. He's definitely been consistently available for the Jazz this past season, and throughout the course of his career, Clarkson has scored a total of 9,216 points, 1,971 rebounds, and 1,526 assists. He's been able to get it all done in his NBA career, but scoring clearly seems to be what he does best according to the numbers. Clarkson's best year came in 2020-21 when he was with the Jazz. He was able to post 18.4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game.
An offensive rebound. Joe takes it for Utah. Behind the back is Clarkson. Step back three. Wow, unreal. What a move.
All right, on the other hand of this battle, we've got Jamal Crawford. Crawford has since retired from the league, but he was an excellent sixth man who consistently wowed audiences. He averaged 14.6 points, 2.2 rebounds, and 3.4 assists throughout his career. As for his total numbers, they're clearly far better than Clarkson's just due to his sheer time in the league. Crawford scored 19,419 points, grabbed 2,948 rebounds, and had 4,541 assists. His best year in the league came with the New York Knicks back in 2007-2008. He was able to average 20.6 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 5 assists per game for them. Now, obviously, Crawford's totals are better due to the time he spent in the league, but Clarkson actually posts a better career average compared to Crawford at this stage in his career. I'm going to give this section to Crawford, though, just by a narrow edge, because I think Clarkson is just a few more great seasons away from surpassing him.
Now here's Crawford the other way.
Next up, we're looking at head-to-head matchups, and their head-to-head matchups against one another have been incredibly one-sided. Clarkson and Crawford have seen their teams battle it out against one another 14 times in the regular season, not meeting in the postseason at all. During this stretch of competition, Crawford's teams have dominated Clarkson's. Crawford won 12 of those games while Clarkson only had 2. Team success in these games is clearly in favor of Crawford. However, the numbers tell a bit of a different story. Clarkson actually averaged 13.2 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 3.1 assists per game in these 14 matchups. Crawford, on the other hand, only averaged 11.1 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. So Clarkson's clearly putting up the better numbers than Crawford when they play head-to-head, but he just can't seem to get the wins against him. This category is honestly up to your own personal opinion. If you value victories more than performance on the court, then Crawford sweeps this head-to-head category, but if you'd rather put up better numbers and ignore how the team has performed, then it's Clarkson who takes it easily. Now we're looking at their accolades, and we're going to start off with Clarkson. Clarkson was able to win a 2015 Rookie of the Month award and the 2020-2021 NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. Those are the only 2 awards he's officially been given by the league to this point in his career. He's also been included on the All-Rookie First Team back in 2014-15. Flipping over to Jamal Crawford now, Crawford excelled in the accolades category for sure. He was able to win the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award for the first time in 2009-2010. He followed that up by winning it a second time in 2013, and then a third time in 2015. It only gets better though. He was able to get the 2017-18 Teammate of the Year award to top it all off. It's pretty clear that Crawford has picked up a lot more accolades than Clarkson to this point in time, so it'd be impossible to roll with Clarkson in this category until he wins at least one more Sixth Man of the Year award before his career's over. Alright, team success is another crucial part of determining which of these two players is the better one. So, Jordan Clarkson's first year didn't go so well with the Los Angeles Lakers. He posted a 21-61 record, and they completely missed the playoffs, obviously. Then he followed that up with a 17-65 record, even worse. Clarkson went on to miss the postseason the next 2 years as well before getting traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers and following LeBron James into the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. I say he followed LeBron because the year that James left, the Cavs only won 19 games. It was like that for another year, too, before Clarkson eventually made his way to Utah Jazz. Utah has allowed him to play freely with the ball in his hands, and he's been a big part of them making it into the playoffs these last 3 years. However, he doesn't really have much deep playoff success outside of that one season where LeBron took over every game. Alright, on the other side, Crawford has a pretty similar start to his career. He was playing with the Chicago Bulls his rookie year, going 15-67 that time. They improved to 20 wins the following year, then 30 after that, but dipped back down to 23 in the 5th season. The next handful of years were spent with the New York Knicks, a team that once again missed the playoffs every single season and didn't have one record with over 35 wins. However, Crawford's luck changed when he went to the Atlanta Hawks. He made the playoffs in back-to-back years with them before going over to the Los Angeles Clippers. He was able to then make it into the playoffs for the next 6 seasons, only ever advancing past the first round twice though. So neither of these scorers has done much when it comes to deep playoff success, but I think Crawford has been a tad more consistent in getting there over the course of his career compared to Clarkson. So he's got the edge here, although it's really close. Alright, now let's move on to highlights. It's to be expected, but both Clarkson and Crawford have made some of the nastiest highlights you can ever imagine. It's honestly scary to line up across from these guys in the middle of a game. You just never know when you're going to get crossed onto the court with one little snatchback or crossover. Here's some highlights to further prove our point on that matter.
And here's Clarkson. Tried to take George's ankles and got it.
Shot clock 3, shot clock 2. Paint, drive.
Clarkson! This crowd, it's a good one to get it on, Bowler. My goodness, Jordan Clarkson.
Clarkson pulls the trigger straight away. How about that crossover? Looked like Brooks broke an ankle.
This place goes nuts when Jamal Crawford goes into his fancy dribble mode, and he does again to take the lead up to 20.
Crawford at distance. Oh, what a beautiful move. This is some move. This is one of those ankle-breaking moves by Crawford. Look at that. Oh, me, oh, my. And Bullock with him on the court. Crawford for 3 more. He gets fouled. He'll shoot 3.
Okay, so what are these players really known for? Funny enough, these two players are known for practically the exact same thing. Clarkson never really got much of an opportunity when he first entered the league, but it's clear that he's grown the most comfortable leading the bench unit. With the Jazz, everybody has known him as a sixth man who consistently provides a scoring spark for the team when they need it most. He's not the best passer, and he can sometimes make some questionable shots, but his scoring touch and lightning-fast handles almost always give him the edge. As for Crawford, it's kind of the same situation. Crawford excelled as a sixth man throughout his entire career, and he really brought life to this kind of role in the league. He had the skill set that Clarkson has before Clarkson had it. He can dribble the leather off the ball, he's got great scoring ability, and most importantly, he knew his role. He was perfectly fine coming off the bench to further help his team win games, and he was able to dominate in that spot for years and years in the league. Okay, so after going through all this, I just don't think we can say with any certainty that Clarkson wins this battle. Now, there's certainly potential for Clarkson to take over this sixth-man mantle from Crawford in the next handful of years, but right now he just hasn't done enough to surpass him. Crawford is and will likely always be known as one of the greatest sixth-man players of all time. Clarkson has only done it with Utah for the past 3 years and a little bit sporadically with some of his previous teams. So after watching this video, we want to know which of these players you think is the winner here. Did we get it right? Let us know down below in the comments.